What God cannot do does not exist. I'm the woman God has shown mercy. My name is Onwuka Beslena. I'm making this video from Asaba, Delta State. I'm that woman God has shown mercy. In the month of March, someone introduced me to this altar of fire. Within the first 2 weeks of coming into this altar of fire, my son that is in the school, they called me that day that I should come. He called me that, "Mommy, please come, that I'm having burns all over my body." Quickly, I left. I went to his school. When we got to the hospital, the doctor saw him and said, "No, these things are not just ordinary, that they're suspecting something." I was surprised because I thought that it's something that we will get there. They will give us maybe antibiotics that will clear the something. He said these things are not, that they have to go to theater, operate on him and remove, some of those lumps and send it to a pathologist. So the anxiety and the seriousness on his face, I was like, "Doctor, please, is there more to this thing? What are you suspecting?" He said, "I should just calm down, and when the result comes out, that he will let me know." But because he's our family doctor, I said, "Please just tell me." So he now told me that he's suspecting something. He started explaining cancer of the red. I said, "God forbid." So as I said, no. At that moment, I entered into prayer. So lo and behold, this boy was ready to theater. They sent something to the pathologist. After 2 weeks, the results now came out. I was in a meeting when they called me. He said that it's lymphoma. I've not heard of lymphoma before in my life. I said, "God forbid. What God cannot do does not exist." Because at that time, I'm already on this altar of fire. I said, yeah, I reject it. He said it's true that I said what God cannot do does not exist. He said he knows, but we have to. It's quickly that you introduce me to the doctor that is in charge of it, so that they will start the treatment immediately. He was trying to give me the phone number to refer me to. I said, "I beg." I rejected. I said, "Okay, that report is not for me. It's not for my son. What God cannot do does not exist." I went into prayers in the night. That night I didn't sleep. I can't say. I started praying. I said, I've been listening to other people's testimonies, how they will say, "Lord, let this thing come out from Pastor Jerry's mouth to the next." So I was like telling God, "Please, let this case, let Pastor Jerry mention it," because I know that any case that Pastor Jerry mentions in the morning, in the prayer time, in fact, immediately that situation will be, gotten rid of. I said, "God, please put this case in the mouth of Pastor Jerry." The next morning, when we were praying, within the first few minutes, between that 15 to 20 minutes of that prayer, Pastor Jerry mentioned case of lymphoma.
I hear lymphoma. That's what they told you. By the power that raised Jesus from the dead, I announce, let it be reversed.
I shouted. My son that was with me and others, they were like, "Mommy, what is it?" I said, "What did he say?" As if I got confused, because I didn't expect that what I prayed for, he would just answer like that. My son said he said lymphoma. I said, "Do you know what it means?" My son started. I said, "Okay, don't worry." I said, "Lymphoma. I reject it. I cancel it. God, thank you." After that, the next day, we said, "Okay, let us go to the school to take Ekene back to the hospital, so that the doctor with that faith." So we now went to the school. We picked Ekene. So I got into the school. He said, "Mommy, that thing works like miracle. That those things are no longer on his body, from the head to the body, everywhere." That time, but he said everything disappeared. I said, "Come, we're going to." I said, "God has answered you. That God has done it. This one we're going back is formality." That Pastor Jerry mentioned this case. From there, me and my husband we picked him straight to the hospital. On getting there, we now told the doctor, say, "Please, we want to carry out another test." So he said, "Okay." That we said taking another result means that they have to take him to the theater, open up another to collect another space. I said, anyhow, he said, because if they should go back to check that first one, there's a likelihood that they will say the same thing again. But for us to be sure, that which means they have to go back to theater to open up. And I say, anyhow, but one to another. I know that what they saw before, they will not see it again. The doctor laughed. So he now called my son. Said, "Okay, let him check the place, maybe possible place that they can cut out. He started checking from head to toe, even around the private parts, everywhere that those things manifested that time, nothing. Everything disappeared. Doctor said that he can't see anything again except to cut out. That before they will go for another pathologist, they have to carry some, but there's nothing to cut out. That everything disappeared. He said, "This one, madam, that this one is really a miracle, because it had even that something is still in his body. By now, the thing would have manifested well. That was just how, till now, see that much till now, more than 6 months, my son is fine. He's even bigger. He's bouncing. He just went back to school. That was just the first miracle that we recorded within 2 weeks of our introduction to this altar of fire. What God cannot do does not exist. Thank you, Jesus.